What's up, guys? It's your boy Anthony.
And it's your girl Raelle.
And we're back at it again with another video. So this video is gonna be a lot more different than what we used to do, what we usually do.
Today's gonna be more of like a discussion video, just about everything that's been going on with, you know, the police brutality and the protests and all that. So that's what this video is going to be about. So we're going to share our thoughts with you guys. I also want you guys to share your thoughts with us in the comments down below. But also don't forget to like and subscribe also if you're new to our channel. And yes, we're just going to get straight into it.
So I know you guys are pretty much familiar or aware with, you know, what happened to George Floyd. Honestly, that's the worst thing I think I've ever seen since I've been alive. You know, seeing somebody slowly die, and for the fact that we all saw it on TV, and you know, for the fact that his family had to see it, you know, that's something that nobody should go through, no matter what skin tone or whatever you are. You know, nobody should go through dying a painful, slow death like that.
Especially the reason behind it.
Yeah.
Like, it's because of a cop that doesn't, you know, like your skin color, or he just doing that because he doesn't like your skin color. Like I said,
I mean, it shouldn't even matter about skin color, but you know, our condolences, you know, go out to his family.
Rest in peace.
You know, and our condolences go out to all the people that
all
died.
Victims,
all the victims that died in the hands of police officers. And you know, it's disgusting because, you know, I feel like we're better than that, and you know, we shouldn't allow ourselves to allow this to happen. And that's why I appreciate and I support these peaceful protests. We actually went to one yesterday, and you know, I feel like it gave us a voice, you know, compared to how we were before. But I feel like now we're a lot more aware.
Yeah, and it's also just very like sad at the same time, because even like I told you, like even when I was there, like I almost really just wanted to get emotional and just like start tearing up because one, you know, I'm only 22 years old. I've never had to deal with this in my life. Or I've only read about stuff like this. I've only read about stuff like this in my textbook, so I never really had to live through it. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like I feel like I'm repeating history. Like I'm reliving exactly what I learned about in my textbooks, and it's just like, yo, this is really our life right now. Like, like this is real life. Like this is real life right now. Like that's crazy.
And I agree with you, and that's what makes it even more, you know, saddening. And that's why I feel like during these moments, and during this moment specifically, we need to unite as a people. And I'm not just saying black people or white people or Asian or Hispanic. I just feel like as a people, we need to unite overall. But you know, since we're, you know, from the black community, I feel like as, you know, a person of the black community, we need to stick together even more. We need to unite even more because, you know, they're targeting us. And at the end of the day, you know, this is not right. Because imagine this was, you know, your cousin, your nephew, whoever, and it's basically like that. You know, we shouldn't allow this to happen.
But that's the thing. I wish. It's crazy because it's not even like we're allowed. It's just like we just really have no choice. Like, but to kind of like we kind of just got put in this position, and that was it. And we really don't. Our like voices really
are not being heard.
Really have no weight. Unless it's like unless we all come together, like we're like, you know, we're doing right now, like the protest that's like worldwide and stuff. That's when they hear us. But like individually, no.
And that's why I feel like, and you're right. And that's why I feel like we need to, like, I'm going back to unity, but we also, like, I feel like we need to also figure out what are the next steps after this. Because at the end of the day, you know, we could protest and protest and protest, but what we need is change. You know what I mean? And I feel like the only way for that to happen is for us to, you know, look at these officers, like, how are they being hired? Like, change the way that they're being hired, or who's hiring these officers, or what are their backgrounds, you know, because we're constantly finding out that they had these pictures of, like, of them wearing certain things, or participating in certain things
And
that
they have like a history too. One thing I want to say is we need to start giving these officers like multiple chances. Like, why is it that like the officer that killed George Floyd, like he had a history.
Yeah.
So why is it not where this is now, like becoming like an issue? Like ever since the first thing happened, it should have been done. Period. Like it should be like that for all the cops.
And that's why I feel like we need to formulate or find a way. Well, not formulate. I feel like we need to start looking at who are our leaders or who are the government officials in our communities and start, not attacking them, but confronting them on the issues. Or if they're not really listening to our voice, we need to start electing people that will, have similar voice or support us. Because at the end of the day, that's really where it all stands. You know what I mean? These law officials or these government officials, the people, our local government, we need to really confront them or find or, elect people that basically will support us at the end of the day. And I feel like that's one of the ways that we should approach this situation.
And I feel like with that being said, I need all of y'all to go vote and stuff, because I know like some people had votes today. I know I was in New York, like at the end of the month and stuff. So register to vote, do whatever you need to do, but just go out there and vote. So the people that are in charge, we can actually have some control over that, because like I feel like anybody's just getting put into office and they don't agree with our views, or they don't really like us, like our people and stuff.
Yeah, and that's why we need to pay attention to that. We need to definitely pay attention to who are the officials in our communities, because when we don't pay attention to that, now we're just electing people that are allowing these type of people into our communities that don't like us or don't look like us, and they're killing us. You know what I mean? So I feel like,
and that's the thing, it's not even just the communities, just all in general, over, just across the whole damn country. Like, to be honest, just like it's just ridiculous. But
I feel like the new laws, definitely we need some new laws, new law reforms. I also, one of the issues that I wanted to talk about personally.
Wait, before you hop into that, like, 'cause you said a change is the law, but I feel like another change would have to be actually us, like the black people, and what we do, what we do together. Like instead of just be on some gang stuff or
that's what I'm about to get into.
Oh wow! Before we get into like, instead of getting into like gang stuff or division stuff, like always like separated, we need to come together as a whole and like actually like support each other, stick together, because I feel like we're the only ones that really we don't be on the same page. And I feel like a good example of us not being on the same page is actually the protesters and the looters. Is that how you say it? The looters?
Yeah.
The looters.
The people that are looting the stores.
Yeah, like we're obviously not on the same.
Why are we looting our own businesses? You know what I mean? I feel like some people say it's easier said than done, but I feel like this is just obvious. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like we need to come together and look at the bigger picture. And I feel like the bigger picture is the next generation. You know what I mean? Without us changing now, the next generation is going to grow up to basically do the same thing over and over again. And I feel like if we don't change, this is going to continue.
If we
to
don't
happen.
make a change
as well. And I feel like that's where and getting into the whole gang thing, I personally feel like I've known people in gangs. I've seen it before, and I understand. You know what I mean? Like like most of the people that grew up in that environment, they don't have the right father figure or the right people to influence them. I'm not trying to get in too deep, but I feel like, I'm not saying that it is a good thing, but sometimes when you don't have the right influences, you start to look for it, and sometimes in other places, and sometimes those are the people that influence you, or sometimes it could just be this is part of your life. Like I always hear people talk about, oh, I was just born into it. It's not really a choice.
I didn't have a choice, yeah.
So that's why I feel like we need a target, or even not even target. We need to come together with these gang leaders or basically these gang leaders, and try to find a way where we could actually help, unite ourselves instead of dividing. Oh, I wear this color, you wear this color.
And
So
we need to all be on the same page.
nah, the only color we need to worry about is the black color, like us being stronger. And I feel like, that's why I feel like also, I really think the Black Panther Party should come back, in my opinion. Reason being is because I feel like it will unite us. So I feel like if the Black Panther Party could come back, or I think they are still here, but I feel like they have more of a presence, and they go to these local gang leaders, or just go to the major ones and try to find a way where we could just come together as one and under one party and become more organized. I feel like this whole division and the whole, us not really being on the same page, it would resolve that.
I really want to know, how did this whole gang stuff even start?
Yeah.
To be honest, because it's like, how did we even, like, how did we go against each other? How did that even start?
I mean, I can't say that. It's always been like that in history. There's always, tribes versus tribes, country versus country. You know what I mean? It's always happened.
Yeah.
But I feel like in this very moment, there should be no this versus this.
Yeah, no.
I feel like in this very moment, it should just be us trying to get to the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is us building our communities.
Yeah.
Building our communities to
helping each other too.
Helping each other.
Black businesses, supporting, keeping the money in the community. How about that? Because I heard somewhere where
buying back our neighborhoods.
I heard somewhere where the money in the black neighborhoods only stays in for 6 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
Which is nothing.
Basically, and I feel like that's one of the issues that we need to also, look at and basically fight, because at the end of the day, the only reason why we are where we are is because we're not financially there. And I feel like, we hear this all the time, but instead of hearing it, why don't we take the action and make it happen? And honestly, if I could do anything, I just want to see some change, because, as being a black man in this country, or just being a black man in general, it's not easy, but it's not hard.
Being black in general isn't easy.
Yeah, it's not.
It's just so why does it have to be like this? High key,
I mean,
first of all, what's the big okay? Remember, I've been asking the same question since weeks ago, with racism and stuff like that. I'm like, what's really the big issue? Why is this race thing such a big issue? What's the real underlying issue? What is the problem?
Yeah.
Why can't we just all be okay, just accept the fact that we all come in different shapes and sizes and colors and stuff? What is the big issue? Why is there really separation?
I agree with you, and I think that's a question that we should ask, but I feel like that's a question that's going to be hard to answer, and I think the question that we should be asking right now is, what are we going to do next? I'm still that's all I'm focused on.
That's all we can really think about is what we got to do next. How can we improve the situation?
Exactly, because there's no way, for us to find that out, and I feel like the only thing that we can do is what we're going to do next, because that's, if somebody don't like me, they don't like me. That doesn't affect me. What affects me is, once they come into my space, or what I'm going to do.
Or what they do.
They do.
To you, to your peoples.
And that's why we need to unite. And when I say unite, I mean, unity is one thing, but I feel like we need to be more organized, being more involved in, like I said, electing these officials, and then next, after electing the new officials, targeting these people in our communities that are actually not helping the community. We need to start putting in place the people that are going to be helping our communities, leaders that will, lead the community to greatness. You know what I mean? And that genuinely want to do it. And I feel like these leaders need to be protected, because as we can see through history, each individual leader that had helped the black community ended up getting assassinated. We could talk about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Those are the most prominent names, but we need to really just focus on that.
I just feel like we just shit. Honestly, one thing I also do want to touch on is just, okay, like the police brutality isn't, like I've seen a lot of videos like on Instagram and stuff, and everything is really just crazy outside right now, right? But I've also seen during like this whole protesting thing, there still has been a lot of police brutality still going on, even during protests. But, and I don't agree with that, but at the same time I also do not agree with, you know, the people also
looting these stores
and like doing stuff to like also the police, because at the end, and you know what's crazy, like the whole looting the stores, like it's in our own neighborhoods.
Yeah, that's the sad part. And
so what is that really doing? Who is that really affecting? Is that not affecting us though?
Yeah.
And I understand, like, okay, you want to loot the businesses because they, you know, these businesses probably don't even care about it.
Some people think it's like, oh, they have insurance, they should be fine.
But at the end of the day, who's buying from these businesses?
Yeah, we are. And I feel like that's the issue. I think what we need to focus on is not looting these businesses, it's actually watching who these businesses support. Yeah. And also what we're consuming. Because a lot of these...
Before you say something, I feel like instead of looting them, how about we just don't give them our money, period?
Basically.
And then they won't be in business.
And that's the thing. And you're right. We need to start, you know, looking at who these businesses support. Like, we just saw, like, earlier today how some companies are not saying anything. Or, you know...
Or some companies are saying stuff. But you know how I feel about that? It's like, even though some companies are speaking up, you still don't know who's really on your side and who's not on your side. Because just because a company is speaking up right now does not mean that they always have been there since the beginning. Doesn't mean they just only speaking up probably because they don't want to lose, you know, their black customers, and they also don't want to get dragged. They don't want to get canceled. Yeah. So that's why they're speaking up. But I feel like you gotta look at the companies that has always been there for us since the beginning, always supported us from the beginning. Don't say something now just to save your company. You should have been saying something because it's been going on.
And it's crazy because that happens a lot. You know, we look at all these companies where they've been caught. The CEOs of these companies have been caught saying very controversial things. And the crazy thing is...
Or selling very controversial
things. Exactly. And we still go back and still give them our money. So I feel like, you know, we need to end that cycle and really start watching what we consume. Because whatever we take in, we put back out. So if you take in negativity, you're going to put back negativity. Somebody like, oh, no, it's not that serious. No, it's that serious. You know, because if it's not that serious, then we don't take ourselves seriously. And I feel like we need to take ourselves on a whole nother level than how we've been treated. And we need to look at ourselves from a different point of view and through different lenses. And I'm looking at this situation as, you know, not a downfall, but us getting back up, you know.
Yeah, because we're definitely, well, I would pray God, but I really hope so. Like, we definitely have to come up from here. Like, it has to only be up from here. It can't be nowhere else, because that wouldn't make no damn sense.
And, you know, I don't want to cut you off, but that's kind of like, you know, I kind of use this quote almost all the time from Denzel Washington, where I don't know if it was from him, but I heard him say where if you fall 7 times, you get back up 8. So, like, you know, you don't allow yourself to stay down and just be like, and I realize we are standing up for ourselves, but now it's time for us to really not allow ourselves to divide and, you know, and fall. You know, again,
we need to have our own stuff, have our own businesses, you know, like,
our own leaders.
The people that own the stuff in our neighborhoods, we need to be the ones that own the stuff in our neighborhoods. Yeah. Because people be, like, gang people be like, people in gangs be like, oh, like, this is my hood and stuff like that. Is it really your hood when you don't own nothing in it? Yeah, you know, it's funny because that's, honestly, you just said something that's crazy. Because it's crazy because when you think about it, they're like, this is my hood, but who really owns all them homes? You know what I mean? So, like, the person that owns real estate in there, that person could literally just pull up and be like, oh, yeah, I gotta go. Yeah. So, like, you gotta understand, like, that's not real. You know what I mean? The realness is when you're supporting the next generation, supporting your people, and trying to, like I keep saying, look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is us getting past this level of this whole issue. Yeah. To be honest, like just getting past that. I mean, I don't know. I think it might take a while. It's gonna take a while, but it starts with us. It does start with us, and I feel like you know, as long as we want it, it's going to happen. And I feel like we need to move on with this momentum because this happened. This is not the first time
and I
It's
would
not
go.
the same time.
And I want
It's
this
not
to
the
be
third time.
exactly.
Sorry.
And I want it to be the last time, to be honest. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like we need to, you know, really use this momentum that we have and push forward and not allow ourselves to come back to the situation in a year or two we're back protesting again and fighting again. No.
Like, nah, everything y'all say right now, like, keep that same energy a month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now.
Forever.
Keep that, forever. Because I feel like sometimes, like, we've had a protest before. You know what I'm saying? We've had this issue before, but, like, we still go back to the same old ways. Like, well, you know, this will last for, like, a few weeks, a week or two, and then after that, it's kind of okay.
Yeah,
But
nothing
nah.
really changed. So, I mean, honestly, I'm lost for words, but all I could say is, you know, together we stand, divided we fall, and, you know, we need to stand together. No matter where you're from, who you look, what you look like, you know, no matter what, we need to stand together. And I feel like not saying, oh, just only black people. I'm just saying in general, anybody that wants to see us, you know, come together, or just in general, just look at humanity. You know, just, you know, trying to make not this whole a color or race thing. It's just we're all people.
That's the thing, though. But I feel like, you don't want to make it like a race thing, but it's been a race thing. So it's kind of like.
But eventually, I feel like we need to get out of that. We need to just look at each other as people.
It's not just us. It's the other people, too.
Yeah.
They're looking at it as a race thing.
Yeah.
They're the ones that's making the issue. The whole police brutality thing is because they got an issue with us.
Yeah. I mean, but...
You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
I mean, but that's why I feel like this issue is going to be... It's hard. But the only thing that we can do for now is better ourselves. Support our people. Better ourselves. Stop doing the things that we're doing, like looting our own businesses, killing our own people, and not really supporting each other. I feel like one of the things that I feel like a lot of, you know, people of color usually don't really talk about their emotions or how they feel, and it's a lot of bottled up anger. And I feel like one of the things I wish
you saying it needs to get like spoken about?
Yeah, it needs to be. We need to address that issue. You know, because having all this bottled up energy and anger is not good. It's not normal.
And we end up releasing it on each other.
Exactly. And I feel like it's not our fault, but it is our fault. And it's like a whole complicated thing. But what we should do, if we could, I feel like one of the people that, like Charlemagne the God, you know, I don't know if he ever watches this, but he talks about mental health, and I feel like it is important. Our mental health really plays a role in pretty much everything. You know what I mean? If you're not, you know, mentally right, you know what I mean? You could do anything. So I feel like once we could focus on that, also, you know, that also being a factor, maybe having more therapists or that are not as expensive, or just
we just need to have all the resources that
basically
all the resources that we need.
Yeah.
Just like other people have, like, you know, a bunch of resources in their neighborhoods that help them when they need it. We just need to have all those resources. But it's also because it's a financial issue. But like I said, the people that make it out of these communities that, you know, become successful, you're supposed to use your money or your success or whatever to bring it back to the community to help build.
I can't say that.
Why not?
Because for me, it's like I can't tell somebody what to do.
No, but I'm saying though, like, if we want to better each other, like, let's say when I make it out and I become successful, then I need to, you know, give back to my community and, you know, build these, you know, like
these public schools, or
these
not even public schools, but it's like these places where, you know, kids don't feel unsafe.
Or
you know,
the places that people can get help, like, you know, mental health counseling, stuff like that, to build these places in the communities. Because without us putting it in there, nobody else will put it in there but us.
And that's why we need to care about each other. In this moment, we need to unite, because, like you just said, nobody's gonna care about us but us.
Yeah.
But on that note, we just want to, you know, have, like, I guess, a moment of silence.
Okay.
You know, for George Floyd. But yeah, guys, we want to say thank you for watching our video. And honestly, if there's anything that you guys feel that we've missed, or any ways that you think we could help, or you think,
or let us know what you guys, your thoughts
yeah,
on everything, like in
yeah,
down comments down below, like how, what are things that you've seen on social media, what are things that you've seen in your neighborhoods, with the protesting, the rioting, stuff like that. Let us know your thoughts, your feelings. How does this affect you?
and ways that we could actually make this better. I feel like the more we could talk about
Give
it
us
in general,
ideas.
ideas. The way we can make this better, maybe start a Facebook channel, or or whatever we could do. You know what I mean? That we could help each other. And no matter where you come from, we just want, just to create that momentum and keep this going, because this is one thing that we do not want to repeat. And yeah.
And also, I just want to say, don't, be shy in the comments down below. You guys can engage with each other, since like I really want us to stay like united and stuff. So
no hateful comments. Please.
Yeah, no hateful comments. But like, don't just only reply to us, but also reply to each other in the comments down below. So.
Because we want to keep that positive energy.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys in the next one.